Hello, I'm Lan.
And I'm Lydia, and welcome to SpecialAF.
Today we have another very special guest for you. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, I wouldn't call myself special, but I'm Gareth John. I'm a county councillor for Carmarthen Town, and in that role I represent all the electorate really that are in Carmarthen North and Carmarthen South to be use a proper title.
Okay.
What does that involve, being a councillor?
It involves dealing with all queries. Anyone who contacts you on any issue at all, you tend to be to a great sector, not everyone, but a great part of the community as the first port of call. Who's your local councillor? And it could be a lot of functions that aren't even to do with the county council. So the first thing is to listen to what the query is, and then signpost, divert or take that up on behalf of those people. Okay. Now, the county council, the main issues are around day-to-day things, important things like housing, waste collection, flooding recently, and that sort of thing. So anything that concerns people, if they contact me, then you feel obliged then to take it up.
Okay, so I'm assuming you get a lot of sort of complaints coming to your door.
Yes.
By the nature.
Lucky you.
It's on you.
Yes. Yeah.
And how do you sort of deal with that? Because I think sort of from a staying positive about your role, you must see a lot of other people's frustrations, and you must come across a lot of frustrations yourself.
Yes, yeah, and that's an excellent question, because you're absolutely right. You deal with it, you see it, you deal with it, you see people's lives, you see what impacts on people. There's not only the negativities as well, and so you can't be judgmental. You take each case on its merit, and then you speak to the appropriate section, department or authority, whichever one is appropriate to that particular query. Okay. We're very lucky here in Carmarthen. I'll do a little bit of promotion here, because the authority have invested significantly in advice. Right. So there are hubs, they're called, and they're especially around poverty, welfare advice, that sort of thing. Been very proactive. So anyone who contacts me with regards to do I qualify for anything, it's straight into the advice centre. Okay. And they take everything up from there.
Right. Has that existed for a while, Gareth, that system?
It's been in post-COVID, really. It's been in before, but it
really
rationalised and kicked in, really, and centralised. There are hubs now in all towns, and to address the rural issues as well. There are mobile hubs that go around all the rural villages and towns as well. And they give all sorts of advice on, they listen to it, and it could be somebody with rent arrears, and they will automatically then refer that to housing and do a check of whether they qualify for any benefits or not.
Yeah, it's a huge, it's an enormous remit that people must be contacting you.
Has that system, did you call it HOPE?
Hope in Welsh, yes. HWB, yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hub in English.
I'm learning. Has it made your job easier, or has it just shifted things?
Yeah, and it's the way I operate. Not all members perhaps are like this.
Right.
Ultimately, a lot of people take up people's concerns directly, and they contact the authority and then go back to the citizen or resident.
But your area is huge, isn't it?
Oh, it is. What I tend to do is I listen to the concern and say, were you aware that you could access this? I do access online, yes. Do you know you could access this directly on council? He said, no. Well, you can't. No, I'll deal with this for you, and I'll contact housing department, say. But just to make you aware, if you did this and access that site, you could do it instantly.
So there's often an education element to what
I'm doing myself out of a job, really.
That's the idea, though, isn't it?
But as far as someone's life and wellness is concerned, I think it gives them the opportunity to take control rather than, just
have things happen to them.
And be grateful for someone else. So ultimately, it's the officers of the authority that actually deliver the service, not the members.
Sure.
Yeah. And how did you end up being a councillor?
That's a good question. I worked for too many years, really, in local authority,
Right.
mostly in social care, social services. And when I retired, I vowed really I don't want to see any more councillors ever again.
Right.
Okay, because I was an officer dealing with members and
Right.
on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Sort of thing. No disrespect to any individual one, but
Yeah.
You just had enough.
it's the workload and the subject matter, as you
Yeah.
can appreciate. And typical Gareth John, within 2 years, I was persuaded to stand as a county councillor in the local election, and much to my surprise, I actually, topped the poll. But I've always respected councillors because ultimately they put their name on the ballot paper.
Right.
And it's a big step to put your name there and say, right, please support me. And I thought long and hard and had to say, have I got the temperament to take rejection, because I thought I'd only get a dozen votes.
That's what I was thinking about when you said you put your name on a piece of paper.
I never thought I'd be brave enough to do it.
Right. And did standing come from a desire from your experience in social care that you wanted to make some effective change?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm aligned to a political party. Not that I follow everyone, because I don't think any particular party has got all the answers.
Sure.
But I'm aligned to one in particular. But the other one was social care, because part of the reason I retired, and it's still my passion, is basically joining things up.
Right.
Integrating health and care, for instance,
Okay.
which is very much
A work in progress.
a work in progress.
Sure.
It's been work in progress for decades, but that's probably the one thing that got me back and say, right, okay, I've been on the inside, let's try and get it to work from
Always.
the other side as well.
Right.
Make people aware.
In a way, can you sort of facilitate that? So when someone contacts you, if they need assistance in accessing service, that you can help navigate that?
Yes, and I'm fortunate because of my previous experience, and now as a member, I've got good knowledge really of where the most appropriate place would be.
That must be key.
And
knowing how it works.
that is it, because not many people do.
Yes.
And the most difficult thing, as many people know, anyone's experienced this, is where do you go first? And in many cases, of course, especially around mental health, there may only be one phone call.
Yeah.
And that's got to get to the right place and the right people instantly. And it's a challenge, but in fairness, criticising services, because both health and all the social care services, they're full of passionate people, they're dedicated people, and they are professional, but of course they work within governance and structures, and this is where I thought, right, naive enough even then to think, okay, perhaps one person can make a little difference here and shake things up a bit, but it's very complex, large organisations, and unfortunately highly political.
But you need people who want to make a difference, don't you? When particularly where politics are involved, we hear an awful lot of negative stuff about greed and power and corruption, and there has to be a flip side of that. There's got to be the goodies.
Yes. Yeah, and it frustrates me, and it really saddens me, really. The level is really at the gutter level now, isn't it, some of the politics and things there. And it's been developing for a while. I wouldn't blame Brexit or whatever, but it started with that sort of debate, didn't it? And then behaviours, and then various governments in power, and then abusing that power, and it all, understandably, the public get very, very frustrated and they lose hope.
Disillusioned, and
yes,
there's an awful lot of divisive.
But not everyone's like that.
No, exactly.
A lot of, I still say, the majority they went in there well, probably all went in there to make a difference.
So what keeps you? Because like I say, there must be frustrations. There must be a drive in you that keeps you coming back. What is it that keeps you coming back day after day?
Yeah, I wish I could say what I want to say, really, and what I think you'd like me to say. But reality is, I don't know. I knew what made me stand as a county councillor, and interestingly, when it comes to council elections, the major issues on the door tend to be rubbish, antisocial behaviour, and things that affect everyone.
Right.
Now, the only service area that impacts on everyone is basically bins, waste storage. Dog fouling was another favourite. Those are the big issues, big ticket issues on the door, which all very important, but it wasn't the reason that.
Yeah.
So I was there saying, what about the hospitals? Oh yes, but that's nothing to do with local authority.
Right.
But when I actually enlightened some people and said, do you know what the county council do? What services they provide? So they're all aware of the bins, education, social care, all the public health aspects, all the engineering aspects, the highways, huge and essential public services.
Quite important stuff.
It is, but unless you access one of those services, it's not a particular
It's not priority, is it?
No.
Sure.
No. So
because you see what's outside your house, or
if you have an elderly parent,
yes,
someone with autism, in a day centre or whatever, or if you have someone in, accessing school or difficulties in school, yes. But generally, it's I'm not belittling those services, because litter and waste collection and dog fouling are a scourge, and
for sure.
Noise and antisocial behaviour is a scourge, and takes a fair bit of my time linking in with police and things.
Yeah. But there's other stuff. If someone wanted, so I think a lot of people might be nervous about contacting a counsellor, or sort of thinking, can you help me? How do people best access your services?
Well, the best way they can access the service is directly through the council. There's so much access there. People always criticise the council. I do myself at times, but nevertheless, it's come a long way. All councils, not just this one, but they've come a long way. They've invested there. So it's not 24/7, and there's the expectation, perhaps with some, that it is 24/7. It's not a blue light.
No.
It is out of hours and things, but that comes at a cost, doesn't it? But it depends who actually contacts them. An element of, especially the older generation, they hold county councillors in great esteem. They say,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Don't ask me where the cut-off is, but there is a cut-off at some point where it's, look, I'm entitled to this, and I expect you as a county councillor to do something about it.
Provide it to me yesterday. Yeah.
I'm not being judgmental here. It's something I've noticed.
Yeah.
In fairness, you get a lot of persistent complainants, but not many. Not many.
And
most are 98% are very pleasant.
Yeah.
However, I'm not on social media.
Right. That sounds deliberate.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't have time for anything else?
Well, it's not time. It's personally, I think I'm psychologically strong enough, really, for unfortunately some of the comments that are
the slings and arrows.
So I've said, right, the best way for me to deal with that is to avoid it.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It must be, yeah.
Because you like to scan, but you'd like to respond.
I mean, I guess you can get a general feel for sort of like what public opinion is on issues without engaging directly with the...
There's only a few. It's the same keyboard warriors. But
but that's the loud stuff, isn't it? Often you complain loudly. One complains loudly.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the stuff that gets through, I suppose, doesn't it?
It does.
Do you have a team around? Is it just you?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we work within a group.
Sure.
So to have support of a political group. But no, we haven't got any admin support.
You're it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my phone call. It's my telephone number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mobile number.
Right.
So you're out there.
Yeah, on the front line.
Yeah, and your details are out there for public access.
Yeah.
Okay. Certain things you can withhold, but no,
Sure. You're very much in the
who
public
you are
eye.
and how to contact you and where you live is public knowledge.
Gareth, when you were growing up, did you want to be a councillor?
No, I'm an only child. I was brought up on a small holding, only a few miles out of town. You know, and I was an only child. Nothing wrong with an only child, apart from being lonely. Really, I haven't got any brothers to boss around on.
Snap, I know about that.
Yeah, right. So it's got its advantages and disadvantages.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was a simple, safe, upbringing. You know, lots of friends and everything. Fine, but no ambition. Now, I think the first notable thing that I remember, and it probably had an impact, was the 11 plus in those days, showing my age. So you got to the age of 11. Can you imagine this, age 11, and then all of a sudden you had an exam, you were assessed. They say, right.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
It's
no
like
pressure.
If you pass, you go to the grammar school, which opens up all the opportunities that the grammar school bring, and if you don't, then you go to secondary modern school.
Right.
Well, I went to secondary modern school, totally oblivious, really, of the implications of that, because most of my friends went there as well.
Sure.
Until someone, I won't say who it was, but someone in the family said, "Never mind that you failed the 11 plus, because
Wow.
your cousins didn't pass them either." And in fact, I still remember it all those years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I didn't know I failed.
Yeah.
I just went with my friends. Now, no additional work or thought or anything. 2 years later, I vividly remember the headmaster in those days, everyone in assembly, headmaster says, "Can so and so and so and so and Gareth John stay behind, please?"
What have you done?
What have I done?
Yeah.
And only to be told that you've been selected to go to the grammar school.
Right. Kind of like a
Because
scholarship
that's what,
kind of thing.
That was the system then.
Right.
Where they went up at 11 and then they reassessed who they had, and then the top people in the
Right.
secondary mod went to the gram and back. So, answer to your question, I had no ambition to be solicitor or whatever. Probably my favourite comic was the Victor, so I probably would be a tank driver or
Right.
or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. I knew, as I got older, I knew what I didn't want to do.
That's important.
What didn't you want to do?
I didn't want to be a farmer.
Okay.
Right.
Because it's damn hard work
Mhm.
and I had no interest there.
Mm.
My family from a religious background, so my mother wanted me to be a minister.
Right.
Good luck with that one. Or teacher. Those were the traditional
Yeah.
sort of family, and I certainly didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't have the patience, I think, to be a teacher. I think I'd be okay with people who want to learn,
Yeah.
but I'd struggle with those who didn't.
Weren't so keen on it.
So I knew all that. So I really drifted, just went through. So you take one exam after another, you follow your mates, went to university, studied economics, thoroughly
Right.
enjoyed. And I came out, of course, during the early Thatcher years.
Right.
Right.
So all of a sudden, the commissions and things all tended to dry up. So
Yeah.
I came home with an economics degree. And I said, well, what do I do with this then?
Yeah.
Would you say being at university started to politicise you?
Indirectly, probably looking back, but I didn't take any, like most students, direct action at that particular time. But so it changed me. I grew up a lot. Bear in mind, only child,
Yeah.
Yeah.
comfortable, living with mum and dad, and nice small traditional
Yeah.
community,
And suddenly,
and being away from home then was life-changing for me. I met
Right.
people I would never have met before.
Sure.
Probably enjoyed myself far, well, not probably, I did enjoy myself far too much. You know, perhaps I should have studied a bit more and got a first rather than a second, but who cares? Hey,
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, do you think it made a difference whether you got a first or not?
no.
No. And I think you don't get a chance to do that again, do you?
No.
No.
It's a sort of, we were talking to this. Our eldest is in like this, and in the third year now.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
uni.
amazingly.
And sort of going, that's that beautiful time before you have like
Yeah.
full responsibility, but you're sort of working out who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of my traits were set there, really, you know, but
Yeah.
no, I didn't have probably the determination and the willpower and everything else to get a first anyway. You know, there's too much involved studying. I probably went for the easier option of a bit more of a balance.
So how did you end up? How did you end up in your job?
Local authority,
Yeah.
nothing to do with economics whatsoever. It's just I applied for it because I had to do something.
Yeah.
And got into the local authority on the admin side originally.
Okay.
And then that's when the economics, because it does a lot of finance and
It
everything
must
else,
apply, yeah.
that's when that started kicking in then, I suppose. And I made my way up then on the support side of things, you know, now called business management and management side of things.
Right.
And then through quite a few of the departments, and then through reorganisation, local government, you always reorganise, so eventually you end up in a massive department, social care and housing.
And did your experience there sort of change how you
Yes,
viewed things?
yes. Even though I wasn't a professional social worker, everything that supported that service all came through the sort of things I did. So everything from training to budgets, you know, everything, you know, that all the,
So you
the
saw
cogs
every
behind the wheel there.
Yeah.
every facet of it.
Every facet of the service.
And you must become aware of the you know, people's stories that need the system and how to best to serve it.
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
You know, so you've got the legislation, you've got people's rights, and you strive to actually, you know, deliver those and support as many people as you can in the most appropriate manner. You know, that's what I'm saying. There are passionate people there.
Yeah.
And in many cases they succeed despite, not because.
Yes.
Sure.
So I always saw my role, especially when I got to senior level, of facilitating the people to give them the tools
To
do
allow
their job
them
properly.
to get on with
To
what
allow
they
them
were
to do
there
their
for.
job. Yeah. I wouldn't pretend I could do their job or have their knowledge. That's not my role. But
You could make it slightly easier for them to do
yes,
that. Right.
to make it easier for them.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
so
still
important
applies.
though, isn't it?
It still applies. It still applies. You know, we're in a new world now of AI
Mm.
and everything. I see the opportunities in AI would to make people's jobs not easier, but, you know, more manageable, more doable,
More efficient.
more efficient. Their well-being, so that they can cope. You know, so the routine, mundane stuff is done there, but it leaves them to concentrate on their professional, scarce skills,
The things that really matter.
rather than, you know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of other issues. But the potential, well, it's there.
Absolutely. And it seems to have been a slight theme through talking to you today that these changes and the things that you've seen happen, they're often sort of double-edged. There's often I don't know if good and bad is the right phrase to use, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say good and bad. I'd call it
useful and not so useful.
Yeah, I think the word frustration comes to mind. You know,
What keeps you up at night?
quite a bit actually, because I'm mainly things that I know are outstanding.
Right.
Right.
And by outstanding, I mean things haven't been resolved yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or things come in. I'm not particularly the best organised person. You know,
Right.
I'm spoiled there. People who could do that for me. You know,
Sure.
and the wife at home and things. And I had lots of good advice, and I've shadowed quite a few excellent people, who've made an impact. I'm very good at signposting and giving advice. I'm not so good at following some of them. I'll give you two examples. Two bits of advice I've had that they're probably values is always treat people as you want to be treated yourself.
Yeah.
Very basic, but honesty, openness, respect, integrity.
Advice. Yeah.
Solid advice. And I'd like to think I follow that.
Yeah.
Because that's me.
Yeah.
The other, probably even better piece of advice I had many, many years ago was make sure you make time for your well-being.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell everyone that.
Yeah. I was thinking as you were talking, you were saying about, the sort of, you don't have a team around you. Do you, given that you have to offer support to so many people in so many ways?
It's not direct support at all. It's all. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far because there are teams. It's just to make sure people get. It's more than what they're entitled to. It depends what the issue is, obviously.
Sure.
But being as you're the sort of you're the face of it. You're the person that people will reach out to and want to fix problems.
Yes,
do you feel like you have support? Like it might come from unusual places. I don't know.
Yeah, I think probably I'm slightly different to a lot of elected members because I've been an officer, so I come from it. I appreciate the difficulties that these people face.
The pressures and
Sure.
Okay, now in probably most cases, most cases, I'm not the first person that they've tried to contact or had any dealings with to get this issue resolved. They've probably been through the system and the council. In many cases, they've tried to contact the appropriate housing, for instance, and they'll never get a call back. So, and then
they go to you.
And that's the way I operate, really, is to say, right, you should contact the authority first of all. So if you're a council tenant and there's repairs, you notify your landlord, the council.
All right.
If that repair is subsequently not undertaken, then I'll deal with it. Because you're then dealing with an issue of why haven't you done what you've promised?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you can really affect some change.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But that's very much a personal approach, perhaps.
Yes. Seems to be working though.
It is. If I was totally honest and said with well-being, I haven't been particularly good at that. It's had its, impact. So I've had, and still do, have certain issues of well-being, mental health there. But the fact I've mentioned it says it all, really, doesn't it? I don't openly broadcast it, but nevertheless, I do appreciate.
You acknowledge it.
I acknowledge it, and I do appreciate the impact that it can have on people.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the circumstances that an awful lot of people are.
Yeah, I think it is so important, isn't it, to acknowledge that we're all real humans and we all fall prey to all sorts of things.
Absolutely.
No matter who or where you are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about the sort of the challenges. When are you most content?
I can think my happy place and my content place would be on the patio, bathed in sunshine, drinking a cup of tea, and I'm lucky. I've got some nice views. You can see over the river, woodland close by,
Nice.
birds tweeted in there, and it does happen. We've had some nice weather there. Providing everything obviously on my list has been
Everything up. Yeah.
Your list. Are you,
That is good for the
I suppose you
soul,
have to be a lists person, don't you?
Yeah, but most of my list, unfortunately, tends to be in my head.
Right.
I have a list, yes,
Yeah, of course.
but
It's
the
always
problem comes is
whirring
when
and-
it goes from a list on a piece of paper to flying on your head.
Yes.
I was saying that's because I don't like physically writing things down, but I have my little mental list that takes, and I said that's when I hit problems is when that list keeps on rotating and there's just too much stuff on it.
I recognise that very, very well.
Hard to switch off, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. You do get the contentment, but it's, as I said, I'm very good at giving the advice. And one bit of advice you'll never hear me saying is, I know what you feel like, because you don't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very individual thing.
And it's maybe not very useful to say that either.
Not as a counsellor, no.
No.
No, but at least it's honest, you know. And and you know, you wouldn't, hopefully people wouldn't know anything, but it's not the stigma. It's the fact then, well, people don't know how to react to it. If you say, oh, look, hey, I'm having a bad day today.
Yeah.
Where'd you go with that?
Absolutely, yes. And that probably...
You manage it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. In behind closed doors.
Yes.
So acknowledging that it exists for everyone or a huge portion of the population.
That's right, yes.
It's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'd like to think that gives me a distinct, I wouldn't call it an advantage, but at least an understanding really of lots of the issues there. So you may, on the face of it, the problem may be this, but of course underneath that, though they're only symptoms, the causes are right somewhere else, and to address things you've got to go for the causes, not to treat the symptoms.
Yes, a holistic approach.
A strange question, but given where you are now, if you went back in time, would you still do it? Or would you take a different path, do you think?
The classic question, would you change the thing? Not really. You can't anyway, so there's no point, you know.
Sure.
The question I keep asking myself is, of course, should I have left Carmarthen?
Right.
You know, I've been outside Carmarthen, by the way. You know, I've travelled a fair bit of the world, you know, because of relatives and everything. But I wouldn't have probably gone any further than Cardiff. But
you feel quite rooted here.
Yes.
But probably if you're what you do, that's really positive.
Yeah, like you said about understanding.
Yeah. That's right.
Again, that's another.
Like knowing.
Would I be a counsellor again? I think social media has changed a lot. One thing that fascinates and frustrates me is I know the declarations we make as local members. You know, before every committee, you declare if you have any interest on any item on that agenda. If you do, you declare it. And if it's a prejudicial interest, then you just leave the meeting.
Yeah.
And then I see the behaviours up in at the national level, and I think, hold on a second, there seems to be different standards here.
Yeah.
Yes, one rule for.
But overall, you wouldn't know in the chamber the differences between the political parties for most members. You know, there could be Labour, there could be Plaid, there could be, you wouldn't know the difference because
you're for the people.
And it's discussing issues that affect people in the same way.
Sure. Yeah. No matter what your leanings.
So it doesn't matter what colour that service is in. The service is the same, isn't it?
Of course. And at the centre of any service is the person, the individual.
Yes. You know, but ultimately it goes back to there. So, yes, of course, I'm a political person, national politics, but locally it doesn't play much of a part, to be honest. Apart from the strategic decisions, obviously, that's different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there anything you wish people understood better about your job, your position, what you do?
I suppose I think people don't appreciate the breadth of it, you know, because and a new councillor standing for the first time who hasn't been within that environment, it's a hell of a shock because there's so many things to know.
In at the deep end.
Yes, on context. Now, one of my favourite sayings is, of course, it's never the answer, it's the question.
Listening again.
So unless you ask the right question,
Sure.
you'll never get the right answer. Okay.
It's good advice for us.
It is.
Yeah. Take that one behind the ear.
Hold on, I'm just making a note of that.
Claim that one.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And without having the context and information and factual information, you're not in a position to ask the right question.
Sure.
That'd make a difference, now.
Absolutely.
It's easy to ask a question.
Of course, the right question. Gareth, thank you so much for joining us. It's been fascinating talking with you. I think we could sit here for hours if you allowed us.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I hope you found it interesting.
No, it's been wonderful. You've proved that you are Special AF. So thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to Special AF. We hope you're going to join us next time. In the meantime, if you'd like to check out our website, you can find out more about who we're talking to and how to get involved.